Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Stupid for the 3rd of April 2021. Now, before we begin, I would like to vehemently apologize if you guys hear any meowing coming from your speakers. It is because my cat is in dire need. My cat is in heat, and I have decided to lock her in the bathroom for the duration of this recording. Yes, my cat is literally within horny jail today. Today is a day after my birthday, a day after I grew a little bit older, but unfortunately, I did not grow a little bit wiser because I realized there are so many things that I do not know, so many things that I still do not understand, which is why I read the press every day. And you should too, because the press helps you think. The press is the new university. The press is the new school. It educates people. It teaches you how to be a better human being. For example, do you own an Alexa or a Siri? I bet some of you do. Not all, but some of my subscribers do own these devices. And did you ever know that because they have female voices, they are making you a sexist? Yes, you are being turned misogynistic without even being aware of it, because subconsciously, like telepathically, there is a small Charles Xavier inside the Alexa, and he is mind controlling you to hate women. This is what the United Nations tells us, that because Alexa and Siri have female voices, it leads people to believe that women are subservient. Now, you see, I would have never made this connection. Like, I just thought that researchers show both men and women enjoy hearing a friendly female voice, which is why taxi companies usually have women that take your call. But no. Apparently, Amazon and Google, when creating Alexa and Siri, they were rubbing their hands in a dark room, conspiring and going, I'm going to get everyone to hate my wife. Through this device with a female voice, I'm going to push sexism upon the masses. And that is how Alexa and Siri was born. But now that I know, thanks to the effort and investigative journalism done by the people at the United Nations, I can now do consumer advocacy. And we know that corporations love listening to the consumer. And I guess Amazon is just going to bend its ear to Romania and hear my pleas for help and say, stop it, Amazon. Stop making Alexa have a female voice. Stop trying to subconsciously push me into the evil land of sexismus. And I'm pretty sure that in the future, maybe Alexa will have a masculine, a firm, a deep voice, unlike my own, because I'm a little bit squeaky. But no, I want Alexa to have the manliest voice ever. I want when Alexa speaks to be the voice of God, to be the sound of the patriarchy that fills every room in our houses. And then women will subconsciously believe that men are the ones that should be subservient. So that when I go to the bedroom, my fiance will be like, V, I am the mommy now. See, this is why you come to my channel, so I can open your mind, bigot. Like, you never knew just how powerful the Alexa device is. You didn't know it's trying to subconsciously manipulate you. But it does, and I have just opened your eyes. Do you know what else subconsciously manipulates you? What else tries to control the inner workings of your mind? What other evil corporation tries to send subliminal messages to you? Well, according to YouTuber Extra Credits, and even according to other corporations like Wizards of the Coast, it is none other than Dungeons and Dragons. Now, in the past, people believed that Dungeons and Dragons is satanic, that it tries to manipulate children into turning them into evil witches and warlocks. But no, it's far more insidious than that. Dungeons and Dragons is trying to turn you all into racists. Did you know that? You probably didn't know, but now you do. Apparently, the way they're doing it is by having evil fantasy races. You see, according to extra credits, fantasy has evil races like the orcs. And apparently, subconsciously, according to extra credits, okay, not something that I'm saying, according to them, is people associate these evil races with real life races in reality. And it creates racism. So because orcs are evil, people look at the news and then they look at the skin color of certain individuals and go like, just like the orcs. But luckily this has been called out. And because of this, Wizards of the Coast have decided to remove evil races. And now they're also removing gender. You see, now when you buy an action figure from Wizards of the Coast, it's going to have the pronouns in the bio. Because how else can you understand that a female drow is a woman without knowing her pronouns? Because you see, according to scientists, study says, research shows, experts claim that the reason we have sexually dimorphic bodies is due to birth certificates. Do you see how it's all interconnected? Do you see how everything ties beautifully together? Like some people just say this is craziness on the internet. No. It's all interconnected. Registering a newborn's gender sex on the birth certificate is usually seen as a mere formality that reflects a natural state of affairs. This article, however, shows that the registration of gender sex does something else than record naturally given sex differences in bodies. It actually produces and shapes the bodies to develop in a way conformant with the understanding of sexual dimorphism. So, do you understand the power that the doctor has when wielding its pen on the paper? Like, the doctor is like this superior being that will dictate the future of that newborn's life. When he writes there like gender and he writes male, it's like casting a spell. He is influencing genetics. It is such a power in the hands of a doctor. If only we could have the time machine, and when baby Hitler was born, we could have asked the doctor, hey, on the birth certificate, write woman. It could have prevented World War II. We could have altered the shape of human history. Like as a woman, maybe he would have taken other decisions. Maybe he would have done other things. He could have handled Germany differently. And as such, atrocities could have been avoided. But now we know. And knowing is half the battle.
Why the fuck aren't you vegan? Yeah. 'Cause I can see your veins sticking out your neck.
Megan Rapinoe. I've been devalued. I've been disrespected and dismissed because I am a woman. Well, Megan, hang in there. Hang in there. All the women around the world are rooting for you. You just need to hang in there a little bit longer because Alexa is going to have a male voice soon. Like soon, all of your plights are going to go away. Just as soon as Amazon focuses on making Alexa have a male voice rather than a woman. By the way, I am also a staunch advocate for equal pay for equal work, which is why the 15-year-olds who have managed to defeat the women team at football should receive the same equal pay. Wait, what's that? You're saying that if we were to pay every single junior soccer league the same amount of money we pay Megan Rapinoe, there wouldn't be enough money to go around? Well, that is a predicament, isn't it? Well, let's do the opposite then. Let's pay Megan Rapinoe the same amount we pay a 15-year-old, and then we're going to have equality. No, she's fine with that. She's fine with that. Like, it doesn't matter if she gets paid less. She just wants the equal amount of pay across the board. Yeah. If you make it equal, then it's fine. Pay Ronaldo the same. I don't care. Everyone should be paid exactly how much a 15-year-old does for playing soccer. At the end of the day, it's just soccer. Who cares? Okay, like they're not doing heart surgery or anything like that. It's going to be more money for the doctors. Yeah. Sure. Just make it happen. Every single football player should be paid the exact same that a junior league soccer player gets paid. There you go. See? I have solved sexismus. Why don't people bring their problems to me more often? Like, I can solve any problem that you bring me. Has there ever been on this show a problem that I could not solve? A single issue that I would say, I don't know what to do with this? No, that hasn't. And I still don't understand why more people don't bring their problems to me so that I can give them the correct solutions.
His final words chilled Ramsay to the bone. You will not have her, I am Lord, and I protect my own. Fight on, Ethan the brave. Old gods bear steel with you.
You know what? I want to clear some misinformation. I want to do some fact checking. I want to take something that people believe to be wrong and correct things. Because this is why you come to my channel, to get the truth. And not just the truth. But in this situation, there is the common misunderstanding that a lot of Americans don't like statues. That they have declared a war on the stone men. And when they see a statue, they freak out and it's like, oh, tear down the statue, tear it down. But it's not true. Like, some statues are different than others. Some statues worth protecting. Do you know what is the statue that the decent left-leaning people in the United States love the most and they would protect? The Statue of Liberty, motherfucker. The Statue of Liberty is one of the few prestigious statues that deserve protecting. For example, in Hungary, a Statue of Liberty was created. One that is covered within the prestigious rainbow flag and is also kneeling in order to show the dire distress that African American and BIPOC community are facing within the US. A 1 meter tall rainbow colored Black Lives Matter statue has been erected in Franek Square in Budapest 9th District. A tender was announced last August to have independent public works on the city streets again. A professional jury selected 6 works from the submitted entries, one of which 4 were exhibited. Unfortunately, though, it is with great sadness to tell you that Hungary is not a progressive nation. Hungary is an Eastern European country stuck in the old ways, because the moment the statue was erected, some dissenting voices threatened to overthrow it. And they claimed that the statue is quote-unquote anti-European, anti-white, anti-heterosexual, and an anti-Christian symbol. Can you imagine how hateful these people are? This is why Hope Not Hate from the United Kingdom should expand its tentacles all the way into Hungary to prevent these people from thinking. Get them fired, get them out of a job. Because look how evil they are. They went and they did a protest in front of the statue. According to Azodali, protests from Legion Hungary and our homeland simply boarded up the rainbow color statue so it could not even be seen. And even this was not enough. They went a step further. And the statue was knocked down around 8:30 in the morning. While the police were there in the square anyway because they were out on the scene all night. And according to all reports, the perpetrators did not want to run away from the police. The statue has then been surrounded by the police tapes. Can you imagine a country where statues are just being toppled down with the cops sitting there? That is horrible. I am so glad that such evilness and bigotry doesn't happen in the West. Because in progressive countries, such as the United States, in decent societies, the left-leaning ideology has finally uplifted the marginalized people. The voices of the unheard have finally been allowed to speak. Who am I talking about? Who are the voices of the unheard? Why, the multi-billion-dollar corporations, of course. The multi-billion-dollar corporations of the United States have managed to publicly veto a bill that was passed by Georgia. Now, Georgia is passing legislation that would require people to show ID to vote. Now, again, just like in the beginning of the video where I didn't realize that Alexa is trying to mind control me into being a misogynist, or that Dungeons and Dragons is trying to subvert me into being a racist, I was unaware that requiring people to have ID to vote is regressive. Because you see, in my country, when the communists came into power, they also required people to show ID to vote. And this law is still in effect today. Like in Romania, if you want to go to a voting station, you have to show your ID card. But apparently this is exactly like segregation. It's even worse, actually. It's worse. Because corporations have informed me that, according to them, minorities do not have the same amount of wealth like you and I have. And they cannot have $20 to buy an ID. It probably they don't even know how. This is what corporations tells us, right? So I was unaware of the issue, but now I'm aware. So even though, according to the Associated Press and survey shows that the overwhelming amount of Americans, over 72% of them, regardless if they're Republicans or Democrats, do favor people showing picture in order to vote, that's not what the corporations want. And what the corporations want, it's important because they are the marginalized voices of society and we have to listen to them. Which is why Coca Cola and Delta Airlines spoke out against the restrictive law. They vetoed it. They were like, no. How dare you, politicians? How dare you? And we got Delta Airlines, which does require people to show ID in order to travel. Now, some people would say that's hypocritical of them.
Okay, before we even get into how they changed their view, again, this is an airline. Why are they weighing in on a voting law? Who do you think you are, Delta Airlines? We should shut you down. Now Delta's decided the law doesn't meet its standards. Requiring voter identification, says Delta, is Jim Crow. But wait a minute, you might be wondering, doesn't Delta Airlines require photo ID in order to board its planes? Ooh, that sounds like Jim Crow. Why isn't that racist? Because it's not. Shut up.
But not really. Like, think about it. If you're poor enough not to be able to afford an ID, you need to stay in the United States so that you can vote. And you can then improve your country so you can afford an ID so you can travel. And it's the same with a lot of push that are coming from more progressive people, you know, like having a COVID passport. That would also require an ID in order to get the passport so you can then use it in order to travel and visit places. But I suppose like the same thing applies. It's like, look, if you can't afford an ID, then you need to stay home and think about who you're going to vote for to improve the nation so you stop being poor. And finally, of course, you know, how can you have a democracy without a soft drink company weighing in? Without Coca Cola, which does business with China, a large part of their market share is in China, where even the Biden administration claimed that the Chinese government is oppressing the Uyghur population there. But that's fine with Coca Cola. You know why? Because the Chinese do not require ID to vote. All right, so Coca Cola is asleep in China, but in the United States, it's very politically active. I mean, it has to do what it has to do, right? So the CEO of Coca Cola says that the Georgia voter ID law is racist, a step backwards, and unacceptable. Brilliant. I love Coca-Cola now. I'm going to buy more of their product. I'm going to buy 20 bottles. You see, when you're buying Coca-Cola, you're doing activism. You're not just buying a soft drink. You are protecting and fortifying democracy. So I care a lot about Coca-Cola now. It's one of my favorite companies in the world. There is no company that I love more than Coca-Cola. I love Delta Airlines as well, but I can't fly them because, you know, in Romania, I don't think they do business. But I can buy Coca-Cola. And because I care so much about Coca-Cola, like I never cared about any other company before, I want to protect Coca-Cola's integrity. And I noticed something which is troubling. That this is something that makes me want to write a concerned citizen letter. And I encourage you to do the same. Not just an email. No, write them a letter. Because this, in my opinion, is very troubling. You see, corporations are kind of like democracies in a way, except they don't have citizens, they have shareholders. And every single time that there's a new year, they get like all the shareholders together and they vote on stuff, and they try to make the company better, to improve the company. And if you go on the Coca Cola website and you click on the annual meeting of shareholders, you're going to reach to these frequently asked questions. And they ask you, do I need to register to attend the 2020 annual meeting? Apparently you do. Registration for the 2020 annual meeting is required. All attendees will need to register in advance and obtain an admission ticket. A valid photo ID and admission ticket is required to gain admission to the meeting. Holy crap, that's fucking racist, isn't it? It's what the CEO said, a step backward. It's unacceptable, according to the Coca-Cola CEO. So let me get this straight. Like, people who cannot afford an ID but are share owners of Coca-Cola, they can't go to the meeting? What is this fucking racist stuff? No, listen, Coca-Cola CEO, you need to get on top of this. You need to make absolutely sure that your company becomes a progressive company and takes a step forward, not one backwards. This is unacceptable. Like, other people who aren't as kind as I am, other people who aren't Coca-Cola connoisseurs like I might look at this, might read this, and might think Coca-Cola is a racist company, and I don't want that. Like, I can't buy a soft drink if it's racist. So please, Coca-Cola, get on top of this. Fix it right away. Yeah, until they fix their stuff, I'm not drinking Coca-Cola. You know what? I'm drinking carrot juice. Carrot juice. Because I love carrots. I love carrots. You know who else loves carrots? CNN.
Clear to them that the vaccine is the ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window to do that is really narrowing. I mean, you were mentioning, Chris, about how all these states are reopening. They're reopening at 100%. And we have a very narrow window to tie reopening policy to vaccination status. Because otherwise, if everything is reopened, then what's the carrot going to be? How are we going to incentivize people to actually get the vaccine? So that's why I think the CDC and the Biden administration needs to come out a lot bolder and say, if you're vaccinated, you can do all these things. Here are all these freedoms that you have. Because otherwise, people are going to go out and enjoy these freedoms anyway.
Speaking of the vaccine, according to Governor Phil Scott, if you or anyone in your household identifies, okay, so you don't have to be, you have to identify, Black, Indigenous, or a person of color, BIPOC, BIPOC, what is bi? Is like bisexual? Like what? Why can't they just say non-white? I mean, is there, okay, question. Is there a person that is neither white nor BIPOC so we can have the third categorization? Like, why not just come out and say non-white? It's a lot more easier than having all these acronyms, all these LMNOP letters. It's just like, say what you mean. Because apparently, if you do not identify as these things, apparently, hold on. Apparently, like, if you're Abenaki or other First Nation, you're not BIPOC? Because I'm trying to really hard to learn English. But your grammar is really weird. So you're giving me, like, these groups of people, and then you're, like, including other groups of people. So, like, they're not from the BIPOC. I didn't know that. Abenaki or other First Nations are not people of color? The more you know. Okay. So I take it back. My criticism was not accurate. All households members who are 16 years or older can sign up to get a vaccine. So you can get a vaccine if you have the correct pedigree. All right? It's very important in the future, if you decide to have children, like, give your children the correct pedigree, because there might be life-saving medication in the future that will be made unavailable to them unless they have the correct genetics that Governor Phil Scott desires them to have. So it's very important that you know the way the train is going so that you can hop aboard now rather than later.
If you want to get back to your favorite places and feel confident they have put your health and safety first,
look for the Well Health Safety Seal.
Look for the Well Health Safety Seal.
Look for the Well Health Safety Seal. I'm Dr. Richard Carmona, the 17th Surgeon General of the United States of America. This is the Well Health Safety Seal from the International Well Building Institute, the global authority on healthy buildings. The Well Health Safety Rating was informed by years of research and input from hundreds of leading virologists, public health experts, epidemiologists, and building professionals. The Well Health Safety Rating was informed by years of research and input from hundreds of leading virologists, public health experts, epidemiologists, and building professionals around the world.
You'll see it at schools, offices, banks, childcare centers, all the places we go.
The Well Health Safety Seal means that we'll feel better going into restaurants,
Theaters, stores, hotels,
Stadiums, and all the places that we love.
Everything may look the same, but the Well Health Safety Seal means that your health and safety are top of mind when it comes to
cleaning and sanitizing procedures,
Air and water quality management.
Emergency preparedness programs,
and health services.
So look for the Well Health Safety Seal outside
and feel more confident going inside. Learn more about the Well Health Safety Rating at wellhealthsafety.com.
You know what? That's a really good idea. I want to learn more. What a beautiful initiative. What is this at the end of the video? Hold on. Zoom, enlarge, magnify. Can you zoom in on that?
Hold it. Run that back.
Wait a minute. Go right.
There, freeze that.
Full screen.
Okay, freeze that.
tighten up on that way.
Vector in on that guy by the back wheel.
Zoom in right here on this spot.
With the right equipment, the image could be enlarged and sharpened.
What's that?
It's an enhancement program.
Can you clear that up any?
I don't know. Let's enhance it.
Enhance section A6.
I enhanced the detail and
I think there's enough to enhance. Release it to my screen.
Enhance the reflection in her eye.
let's run this through video enhancement.
Edgar, can you enhance this?
Hang on. I've been working on this reflection.
Someone's reflection.
The reflection.
There's a reflection of the man's face.
The reflection.
There's a reflection.
Zoom in on the mirror.
You can see a reflection. Can you enhance the image from here?
Can you enhance him right here?
Can you enhance it?
The Well Health Safety Seal is awarded after an annual review of a building's written policies and protocols. Achievement of the Well Health Safety Rating does not guarantee that a space is safe or free from pathogens. You should adhere to local laws and public health guidelines when indoors, and always seek the advice of a healthcare provider with any question regarding a medical conditions. Well, why didn't the actors tell me about this? And yes, in case you're wondering, of course you have to pay for it. I mean, it's for the public health, but we can't have public health without paying money. So if you're a small business, you have to cough up $2,730. Then a small business is only if you have less than 50 employees and less than $10 million in revenue. The standard fee, however, is $4,200. Individual spaces, buildings not yet registered to purchase WELL certification or subscribed in the WELL portfolio program. But if you're a high-volume multi-use business, then you get to cough up $12,600 for this particular seal. It's beautiful, isn't it? It is absolutely wonderful. So you get a seal that says that your business is healthy, but the seal does not actually guarantee the health. So if anyone wants to sue the business because they have found some deadly pathogens inside, even though they have the seal, well, the people placing the seal are not responsible. And they don't get the actors to tell you that, of course. God, I love America. Man, I really love it when corporations get to do politics. It is so beautiful. It is the most beautiful country on earth. When do I get to travel there? Do I need to show ID to Delta Airlines to get there? I don't know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter than usual because I need to get the cat out of the horny jail. As I mentioned in the beginning, I had to lock it up because otherwise it meows literally in front of the door and I can't make a recording because you guys are going to hear it very loud. It's just a phase it goes through. It's like 2 or 3 days during the month where it tries to find a male cat, so it meows really hard. But anyway, right. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to give a super chat. Please do thumb up the video, give it a like, subscribe to it, and I'll see you guys in the comment section. Or hey, if you want some buyer remorse, maybe I'll see you on Subscribestar. You can, you know, for even $1 or $5 if you donate to me, you can then access a direct line of communication to me, and we can chat a little bit more there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you